Hello, dear Joseph. Good morning to you. Good evening to me. You are in USA. I am here in Vienna, in Europe, and I'm happy to see you again. First of all, I want to thank you again for our hypnotherapy session, which we had on Monday. Today, I already shared a little cut from this, so I invite everyone also to come to you. And let me first introduce you. Of course, your audience knows you, my audience knows you because we had a few podcasts with you, interviews. I'm constantly posting about our job together, about your job, but still, Joseph Drumheller, my mentor, my coach, my teacher, master hypnotherapist, quantum energy healer, spiritual teacher, I would call you. I don't know if I forgot something, but for me personally, you are my mentor. You are my guide. You are my guiding light because every time I need you, you are there. And we know each other already a few years, if I'm not mistaken, almost three, maybe more. I was studying in, actually, you're also founder of Joseph Drumheller Academy. It's online academy, which I strongly recommend to all practitioners, hypnotherapists, psychologists, coaches. I recommend. I myself was studying there and I find brilliant your courses, your classes, and we became friends, not only student and teacher, but also mentor and coachee, client. I am everything, but for me, you are just a beautiful soul, which actually is guiding me through my dark times. And everybody knows that spiritual awakening can be very painful sometimes, and we all go through our transformation process. And you helped me a lot during this last 2 years. Last year was really my one of my darkest years, but we were together, we were working, and we saw each other a year ago actually for our podcast. It
hmm
was Sylvester 25, and I what first question what I want to ask you: how was your year? I lost contact with our weekly meditation group. How is it going? I'm
Okay, well, let me phrase this in terms of astrology to begin with. Okay,
yeah.
so right now, um, us little Earthlings are under some pretty strong astrological influences, and so there's this thing that's called a conjunction, which two planets, when it's seen from our point of view, looking up in the sky, that they look like they're one. So that's Saturn and Neptune, and these two planets are polarly opposite in their energies that they bring. So Saturn's very disciplined, very empire building, it's the drill sergeant of life, and where Neptune is like the dreamy spiritual, abstract. So the energies um don't mix very well together. And uh, so we've seen some interesting things in the world. The world's kind of chaotic right now. In fact, it's very chaotic. And we're seeing the stuff of like release of AI. So it's affecting us all globally, but it's also affecting many of us personally. And um, so for me, last year was very difficult because this astrological aspect is flying directly over my sun sign. And so if you have any knowledge of astrology, that means that it's affecting me very strongly personally. And
Mhm.
so I'm a spiritual guy, right? So I resonate with Neptune and stuff. And Saturn's coming in, making me be very disciplined. And it's like, so it's trying to mix um, spirituality and business together.
Mhm.
And so that's challenging in and of itself. And then when you have these two planets like going at each other, it's like it's been what for last year it was a major letting go process of everything.
Mhm.
And it was very, very challenging. And so and if the astrology holds true, then this year is going to be the resolution of that letting go. So it's going to be building something new. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that's where you let go of the stuff that isn't working to build the stuff that is going to work later. So it's an evolutionary process, but
Mhm.
it's been very challenging personally. And I know that when I talk about this kind of stuff and I talked about other people, there's a lot of people going through that. I'm definitely not alone in that aspect in any regard. Um, yeah, so it's been tough. It's
Yeah.
been tough.
Yeah. But
You know,
sharing
on
is
a
caring, and thank you for sharing this.
yeah, on a
Great.
spiritual level and also on a like a practical level.
Yeah. But you said I'm spiritual guy. You're not only spiritual guy, but you're also spiritual guide. And the thing is that this is, we're talking now about the high level of responsibility. I know how many students you have. I know how many clients you have. I myself was
Mhm.
facing pretty challenging period because I couldn't cope with my own energy and I had to continue working. I had to work with groups, with people. And this was not only challenging, this was a disaster. And I have my own tips, of course, which I from time to time I share with people, but in most of the cases I try to hide under my blanket in such moments and go into a deep state of meditation, yoga practice, and just to
Mhm.
recover, and then only go back to people, to the world, to show to the world my good face. But still, if you can share, what are your tips? Maybe you can share some advices, how you help yourself in such moments, or maybe how you can help people in such moments. Yeah, not only those people who practice spirituality, but also people actually who are watching now us, who want to start, or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody out there in TV land is going through or has gone through this process, one thing that's getting me through this is that, and again, astrology is helping this, is that this period of time is temporary. So we're going through a purging process in order to go through a rebuilding process. And so 2025 was, for a lot of us, was a major purging process. 2026 looks like it's going to be a rebuilding process. So
Mhm,
one thing to do is to stay sane, I guess, is to realize that first of all, you're not alone, and second of all, this is a process, and so that it's going to have an end, or it's going to show the light,
mhm,
in this year's hopefully. Um, so one thing that I did consciously, I knew I was going through this phase, and I knew that it was going to be difficult and stuff. So one thing I did. Um, and maybe this is helpful to other people too. So one thing I just stopped. I stopped and I let
mhm,
go. And so
mhm.
I I know that you go through like dark times of the soul sometimes or whatever they call it. So I kind of let go of so I lead a global meditation group. I think you've been part of it. So
Yeah.
what I did in October is I stopped the group. I said, okay, things are
Mhm.
dissolving, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to let this group fall apart. So I'm just going to put it on pause. And
Mhm,
so,
mhm,
and then in that time, in a way, I kind of let go of my own spiritual practice too. And what I did is that I literally went
mhm,
into the basement, spent time alone, and I just got totally absorbed into woodworking. So
mhm,
I was just started making artwork, and um, and I just got really absorbed into that. And so now, as we're speaking right now, so I'm kind of done with that phase now, and now I'm looking at I'm starting to look at the possibilities of moving forward in 2025. And so the
mhm,
meditation groups back up and running. People came, after like a
mhm,
3 month hiatus, people wanted to come back, and so
mhm,
they
mhm.
missed it. So that's good to know. And then starting to make plans to move ahead for this year.
Yeah.
And this
One of those
podcast is
people is
part
me,
of it.
Joseph. I came back and I said, I knocked into your door. I said, open up, I'm here. Let's continue
Yeah.
our work, not only the group work, but also together, working together. But you're absolutely right. Art helped me as well, actually. Physical movement and art. And one of the reasons why I also stopped intensive meditation, because I was so scared. The energy was so overwhelming. There was so much going on in my life, in my personal life, in my business. I couldn't cope with negativity. There was so much of it. And the pain, emotional pain, was so strong at times. And we are, you know yourself, we are people who are praying, chanting all the time, saying to, we
Yeah.
love the world, we love the world. And then all this dark energy coming, and you don't know how to cope with this. And emotional pain, I could feel it in my bones, to be honest. The only way I found is a way out of all this, just to stop, to pause, to walking, breathing, artwork, and now I'm back also to normal, and I'm
Yeah.
back to the group, and I'm really asking you to start again this group weekly meditations, or also monthly groups, which we had. You were holding webinars. I think this was a really great experience and great job, and I think now with fresh energy we can do more. Like I feel it, and that's why I wrote to you and asked you for help, first of all, to help me to go through my process. And I'm grateful to you that you agreed to record this podcast. This is one of the reasons actually to reach out to all people who were in our group. At least when I was there, were more than 100 people. Yeah, I think so. I don't know
Mhm.
how is it now and how many people, but still I wanted to say hello to everyone and invite them back to Joseph, uh,
Yeah.
how to say, group, because this was a really great job and we could feel the energy. Thank you so much, Joseph. Another question. Let's go back to the humanity, human nature, and spirituality is a very interesting topic for everyone, but people are sometimes still scared, and a lot of people blame political situation, I don't know, ecological situation, whatsoever situation. But one of the reasons also why people think that things are going wrong is technology and artificial intelligence. And I really want to touch this a little bit, maybe not to go too deep into the subject, because I myself had pretty funny experience with IE. Why? I can tell you. My colleagues, psychologists and coaches, they think that IE is taking our piece of bread, to be honest, because people stopped going to psychotherapy or to coaching. They can use ChatGPT or they can use IE, or people actually start creating something really by themselves, by their own spirit, but using this technology, it's music, it's art, it's design, everything is there. And we think as a therapists, as psychologists and coaches, we think that IE is actually not 100% healthy tool. What do you think from your perspective, from the spiritual person, from the person who is actually practicing meditation? What is your opinion? Yeah, if you can share.
So anything that diverts or deviates or takes away from personal heart-to-heart, one-on-one
Yeah,
interaction, or even in groups, I'm not for that at all.
yeah.
And AI has the ability to do that. It has the
Hmm.
ability to isolate us, to make us, put us in situations where we don't even need to think. You know,
Yeah.
it's a real handy tool for some things. It's like great, but it's where we lose that human connection,
Hmm.
it's it's not good, you
Heart
know.
to
And
heart connection. Yeah.
yeah, and I've seen, you know, I've ex personally experienced recently some what I believed was some really intense profiling by AI that felt really super invasive, and so
Mm.
I felt violated on a certain level.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, you know, I can share that story with you if you'd
Hmm.
like.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
a
Would
friend
be
of
interesting. Hmm.
So a friend of mine referred me to a podcast. It was all on holistic healing,
Hmm.
and it was really good. It was very smooth. It was very polished. It got into the science behind like the work that I do. You know, so I've been doing this for a long time, and there was no science behind it for a long time, and so now science is starting to. So it was really the podcast was really well done, very well done, and
Hmm.
something that I just was right up my alley. And that, but before you could listen to the um, the podcast, you had to listen to this advertisement that was at least 3 minutes long, and the advertisement was by an insurance company,
Hmm.
which, by the way, the insurance company that I had insurance with, and a pharmaceutical company that was pushing hormone therapy. And my wife's a cancer survivor, and so she's on hormones. And
Hmm.
so I listened to this podcast, and then when I get into the second episode, this really invasive, in your face advertisement comes up again
Hmm.
that is, and I'm realizing, hey, I'm being profiled here. I'm being profiled
Yeah.
because it's my insurance company, my wife is on, and then I realize, well, I don't trust the content.
Hmm.
I think that the insurance company or the pharmaceutical company AI'd the content so they would have to listen to their advertisement. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that was when I realized that it's like, oh
Hmm.
my God, you can't now I can't trust the content that I really liked, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it
It's
was
about
really creepy.
trust. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and so and with the internet and with AI, it's almost impossible to trust.
I don't know if there's a way to escape. I think we are all now involved into this and there's no way to escape. But what
Yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, sort of, so to speak, you know?
I want to share with you also with the audience a post on Instagram I came across. I don't know, some psychologist or psychotherapist posted it. I don't know if
Hmm.
this is a true information or so, but somehow it triggered in me also emotions. That every time we use ChatGPT, if we post something on ChatGPT, then the server needs to warm up and a lot of water is going to be wasted. So imagine every person is going to ChatGPT, putting some data, asking for some, or even playing. Some kids are playing with this ChatGPT, and a lot of water if is burned during when the server is warming up. So even this already made me feel and think about why we are doing this. We are basically playing with this toy. We are burning our own resources. The most important in this world is our breathing air, fresh air, and the water. And we are burning our own water, which we actually need to drink, need to, I don't know, breathe properly. And in what will be in 20 years, in 30 years, and 50 years with our resources, humanity wake up.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a true information, but somehow it made sense to me in terms
Mhm.
of ecology. And I deleted ChatGPT from my phone and I stopped using it because I don't feel a need. I mean, I can still use Google, old buddy Google,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is okay if we need
So
some
I
information.
think the real challenge moving forward, kind of to
Yeah,
keep it in a positive light,
yeah,
is the personal and human
yeah,
interaction. And I think
absolutely. Yeah.
one thing that I have a friend who's in the entertainment business. He's a stand-up comedian and he's very
Mm,
successful.
mm-hmm,
And one thing he's seeing right now with his work is that he's seeing that people are very hungry for live entertainment. So
mm-hmm,
people, so people, as we get more and more technology forced upon us, um, I think that we're really going to gravitate towards human interaction,
mm-hmm, yeah.
heart to heart,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
whether it's in comedy or in spirituality or whatever, and spirituality, in all of my experiences of it, the most profound experiences I've ever had are in genuine connection with other people. And
yeah.
you can kind of like we're doing it now on technology, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can't do it on technology, but the face to face and in person, I think is where it is at its finest.
Yeah. I actually noticed, maybe this is my personal view, I don't know, but I want to share with you here that spirituality actually can also disconnect people very much because I was dealing and communicating with a lot of people who are doing spiritual practices, yoga practices from all over the world, from USA, from Europe, from Central Asia, from Russia. It doesn't matter. They are all on the same level. Let's put it this way. We had the same eye level. We've been doing yoga, we've been meditating, chanting Om, but then working in a group with these people or communicating with these people, I have noticed that a lot of disconnection is going on there because those people felt and behaved like we are a bit higher than others, like we are on high vibes, we are happy, we are close to God, we are heavenly chosen whatsoever, and those are those dark energy people, lower vibes, we don't know them or we don't want to deal with them. And this is what I noticed, and which is also for me personally, it was not a negative experience, don't get me wrong, but it was also learning about myself, my dark sides. I was thinking about, am I also like this? Am I also trying to put my nose up, and say I know better? And when you're a psychologist or when you're a coach, you need to be strong. You need to have leadership character, yeah. But at the same time, you need to be also down to earth and love the people. So you need to love and respect people, also those who are weak, who are
Yeah,
abandoned, who are coming in their negative feeling, because there is no other way to help them. You can't help them if you don't accept them, if you don't love them, if you don't hug them, no matter in what dark stages they are. So spirituality also disconnected me at certain point of my life from the world. And I'm moving back to normality, let's put it this way, actually through experiencing these negative feelings. And actually, in this context, I wanted to ask you another question, touching my own situation, which we were dealing on Monday, but maybe we can help also with this to many other people. recurring patterns, like if people are going back to normal, to the
Yeah.
life, to people who are experiencing same and same situations again. And this is, last year was my challenging year in this because it was my recurring patterns year personally.
Yeah.
Plus, my clients were coming with the same issues, same problems again and again, and we couldn't go through. This was, I don't know, really, really hard work for me. And we touched with you this on Monday and we continued talking. I think you opened up a little bit to me the subject, but please, could you please share with me what do you think about this recurring patterns? How to get rid of them, how to get out of them, how to change them, reprogram them, because this is what I do. I'm, as a psychologist, as NLP trainer, as a coach, as a holistic coach, I'm trying to reprogram my own mindset and my client's mindset into a new reality. And this is really, really hard. So what do you say, suggest, advice in this
Okay,
context?
so first of all, just to keep in the back of your mind that people who have the people that have recurring patterns are everybody. Okay, everybody's got them. And the reason they have them is that recurring patterns are all based in trauma somewhere. Earlier, at some point in your life, maybe early in life, if you believe in past life, maybe even past life. So what happens is that we experience a trauma or something like that, and so
Mhm.
it gets lodged into our subconscious. So all of us have a natural inclination. All of us, doesn't matter who we are.
Mhm.
We have a natural inclination on a subconscious level, so we're not aware of it, we don't know we're doing it, is to avoid experiencing unpleasant emotion, stress or anger or depression or whatever. And so, um, and then, but it's important to understand what the nature of emotion is in the first place. And
Mhm.
so, emotions are born to be experienced.
Right.
That's it. That's it. And so when they are experienced, they essentially dissolve into the ether, they recycle back into the quantum energy field or whatever you
Mhm.
want to call it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
when we avoid experiencing those emotions, what happens is that they get stuffed or they get suppressed into our subconscious.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
and so when that happens, we have these little emotions living inside of us that all they want to do is they want to be experienced. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So what happens is that these emotions will start to create scenarios or situations or circumstances where they can be experienced. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's say I have some problems with authority because my father was overbearing as I was a child. And
Mhm.
so and so so this suppressed emotion of authority, of fear of authority will start to create situations in my life. So maybe I get a job, and every job I get, I'm always afraid or intimidated by my boss. Okay, or
Mhm.
maybe the police always come into my life for some
Yeah.
unexpected
Yeah.
reason.
Mhm.
So what these emotions do, if we continue to avoid these emotions, again, it's on a subconscious level. We don't know we're doing it. We're not aware that
Mhm.
we're doing it.
Mhm.
We continue to avoid those emotions. They'll continually get suppressed back into the subconscious mind, and they'll repeat over and over and over again. And the more they are neglected, or the more we ignore those suppressed emotions,
Mhm.
they tend to grow in their intensity and their frequency when they happen. So we'll have
Mhm.
more of them that are stronger as we go along.
Mhm.
Now, the beauty of the work that we do is that we have techniques and modalities to access those emotions. And usually it's through a state of meditation or
Yeah.
deep relaxation. Okay, so we're going into the subconscious mind intentionally with the idea of healing these emotions. And so once we get into a relaxed state, we bypass this thing called the critical faculty of the mind, which is the barrier between the subconscious and the conscious mind. And so we go into this relaxed state, the subconscious mind goes up, the doors to the subconscious mind go up, and then we have many, many different techniques we can use to release those suppressed emotions from the past.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then when we do that, um, those repeating patterns will stop, and that's called healing. Now, the repeating patterns may not, like, it might not be an instant magical cure one time, right? So it can be a process that takes a lifetime essentially. But as the healing continues, those suppressed emotions that come up tend to be of less intensity and less frequency. So they're spread out and over longer periods of time until eventually they're healed completely. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes healing can happen very rapidly. I've seen people go through that, and I've gone through it myself.
Mhm.
And then And then as we release these suppressed emotions from the past that are in our subconscious, when that gets cleared out, then something else happens. And that
Mm-hmm.
our conduit gets open to this higher vibrational energy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when we start to step into things like spiritual awakenings
Yeah.
and connecting to higher vibrational energy, which can take us into creativity, to higher levels of awareness and stuff like that. So, and that's where we get into manifesting, get into spiritual flow and those things. And the times that we are in right now, the times that we are in right now, last year, this year, are intense. They're
Mm-hmm.
intense. And so it's bringing these situations and this call for growth up more intensely. So, um, and it has it's having an impact, I think, on everyone on some level. You know, some people see it as chaos and the world's going to fall apart and
Yeah.
we're all doomed.
Mm-hmm.
And other people see it as, okay, we're going up, uh, we're going up in our evolutionary process, connecting to this higher vibrational energy. And yes, it is uncomfortable because we're having to shed things that are not in alignment with that. So
Yeah.
essentially, shedding the lower vibrational aspects of our nature,
Yeah.
you know.
And those people who don't believe in spirituality or don't know anything about astrology, they anyway experience it as a stress in their life, problems, situations with business,
Yeah,
collapsing, families, divorces, whatsoever.
yeah, the thing to keep in the
Yeah.
back of our mind, as spiritual people, you know,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that everybody is in it together.
Yeah. We are
Doesn't
all
matter what
involved.
your
It doesn't
level of,
matter.
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
we're all human beings and we're all going through this at this period of time. Now, if we can help ease or elevate the process, and that's what we're called to do.
Yeah.
But we have to remember that we're all in it together. So so we can look at different people and say different things about different people, but we have to remember at this point in time, right now, that our existence is inseparable from everyone else's.
Yeah.
We're all in it together, and that includes all the creatures on this planet and the planet itself. All of our existence at this time is that we're all experiencing this thing together.
Hmm.
And it's a global phenomenon that's going on right now, and it's very powerful.
Yeah. And every message matters. I think every podcast, every post, every message of what you said, shared now, and every human who actually in touch, connected to this energy is matters and important. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so one thing, like in times of crises,
Hmm.
like say there's a natural disaster somewhere, like an
Hmm.
earthquake or something like that. Those are the times when people come together like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we're heading into times like that, globally, and maybe
Hmm.
we are, maybe we're not. But I think we're in a real opportunity to come together in a way that we never have before.
Yeah.
So.
And from the other hand, we are isolated with our mobile phones, all connected, so to say, but at the same time, isolation and
Yeah, is
technology,
accelerating
cold
everything.
hearts. And the thing is that I read recently one article that our mind can be stolen, like this a lot of information and influence
It can be intentionally stolen.
intentionally stolen. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully that we can survive altogether. Thank you so much, dear Joseph. We have a time setting. In
Sorry.
this last 5 minutes, I want
Could go
to
on for hours.
ask you. No, we can go on for hours. Like actually, I wanted to propose to you to meet on a regular basis, maybe okay, not once a week, but once a month, to have a podcast with you. I think we have a lot to talk.
Sure.
I love working with you. I like talking to you, and it's always for me aha moments every time with you. But in this last few minutes, what would be your message to people who will watch till the end? Your students, your clients, my friends,
Well,
our
first of all,
friend zone. Yeah, what message
yeah.
for next year and
First
for
of
the
all,
years to come? Yeah.
don't lose heart. You're not alone,
Hmm.
and get involved. So come join our meditation group. Come join
Hmm.
our global meditation group. That is like it's only 10 minutes twice a week
Yeah.
to tune in, and you can actually connect with other people in a
Yeah.
very, real way, even though it's on technology,
Yeah. Doesn't
You know,
matter.
that-
Same.
that's one thing you
Yeah.
can do, just to know that you aren't alone and you aren't
Yeah.
completely isolated,
Yeah.
and feel the buzz, the vibe. that comes in
Yeah,
also.
yeah. And your presence matters. Yeah. Just by your
Yes,
presence, you make a huge difference. Yeah. Just by showing up. Yeah. Just
80%
sending
of
a little
success. Yeah,
emoji. Yeah. Hello, hi. And just
80% of success is showing up.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Join. It's free. Our weekly meditation groups and
Yeah.
some
So, oh
webinars.
yeah. So if you have a little link you can put onto that to this video, that'd be great.
Sure, absolutely. I put all
Yeah.
the links and videos. But the thing is that, Joseph, no matter how hard I try to share information, invite to free sessions, to free groups, I was upset that people either ignore or don't notice, But now I think it's because of this tiredness, general tiredness. People are overwhelmed by information, they're overwhelmed by energy, and that's okay. We're also fine with that. And I think by being soft on ourselves, we will be soft on each other. And this is the main thing, I think, to be kind to each other. The kindness is still in fashion. Yeah, kindness
Yeah.
is still number one.
Kindness never goes out of
It's the
fashion. Yeah.
best, absolutely. It's the best brand for me now is kindness. And thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your
Thank
energy,
you.
for your presence in my life personally. And I know that all your students and clients will say the same. Thank you. And we love you so much, Joseph. Thank you for being there for us. Thank
Very
you for
mutual.
being there in my, my story, my last days of the last year. And thank you so much for being a friend. This is the most important. And soul evolution advocate. This is for sure.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you. And from your permission, I share this podcast on YouTube with our audience. I
Absolutely.
will also put
Absolutely.
all the links and tags that people
Yeah.
have, all the information provided, and we are there for them. Thank you, Joseph. Stay with me. So.